It's here! You are in luck if you found me today because this is the best video ever. It is my first try-on haul of all of the goodies I picked up from Sephora this year. This is probably going to be my last big haul video for the year of 2025. We've got so many good new things. I listened to your recommendations and I picked out the things that you wanted to know about. We tested them all out today. There were some hits, there were some misses, and I cannot wait to get into this with you guys today. Every single new viral product you can probably think of, I have got sitting in front of me right here that we're going to test out today. That's so awkward, my earring was turned around. I'm going to try to make this intro short and sweet. So without further ado, let's get on to it. I didn't need to do the sound effect. Actually, we're gonna go in a little bit of a backwards order today. I'm gonna start with eyes because I have all 4 of the new beautiful Patrick Ta eye glitters, and just in case there's any fallout, I wanna make sure it doesn't get all over my base. So let's go ahead and prep our eyes. Also from the sale, I grabbed the Makeup by Mario Master Matte's Longwear Cream Eyeshadow in the shade Bisque, and this is just a perfect shade to prep your eyes with. So I'm just gonna throw a little bit of this on my lids, kind of use my concealer brush to just cover up all those veins and redness, give us a really nice solid base to start working with. Okay, I also picked up one of the new Patrick Ta Major Dimension Essential Artistry Edit palettes, and I got mine in the medium, and so this just looks so beautiful. I already have his Major Dimension 3, which is very similar to these colors. They're all mattes, it's all kind of warm and cool tones, but this looked like such a gorgeous palette. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this, and I really wanted to see the quality difference in the shadows. There is quite a bit of kickback here, so that's just something to note with his shadows. Make sure to tap off your brush before you go in. But I just heard that these palettes were formulated so well, that the shadows went on so buttery and nice. I really wanted to see if I thought he had changed the quality in any way. This is already working out so beautifully. So blendable, not patchy at all. Such a beautiful, rich amount of pigment while still being very blurry. It was a lot of pigment, but it's blended out to be so effortlessly seamless and nice, especially because I know my eyes and I know which parts of my eyes tend to be more patchy, tend to catch on product. And so when products can glide over those, I know that they're really good. I want to keep this eye look mostly simple, but I want to go ahead and take some of the richer colors here and just mix these 2 rich ones right here just to deepen the outer crease just a little bit so that we can play with a few more colors in here. This medium palette is a very warm, focused palette. The light palette is a little more neutral. And then the appeal of the dark one especially is that it has that black in it. These are supposed to be for ease of use, ease of travel. They're just not overly complicated, which is kind of what I'm seeing all over makeup right now, and that is really appealing. And especially these are perfect for makeup artists to have in their kit, for anybody who travels a lot, for anyone who loves just a warm toned natural kind of look. These are going to be perfect. And I do think these tones look good on everyone, but if you're not really a warm eyeshadow kind of person, you might want to skip this altogether just because the tones in here are pretty warm. Taking just a little bit of these and putting it really, really central to the pocket and socket of my eye. Yeah, no complaints there. That is a really stunningly beautiful palette. And I'm intrigued to kind of get the other colors, even though I don't need any more browns, but this medium one really is so nice. It does have a really, really good range, even though it kind of looks all like similar tones. You can definitely use the darker brown as a liner, which I think I might do in a little bit. But overall, I think this is such a great size. I love the colors that he picked. They all blend really beautifully into one another. You can obviously make this so everyday or build this up to be like a smoky brown rich eye. So I do like those, but this is the thing that I was most excited about truly to pick up at the sale. These are the new shades of the Patrick Ta Major Dimension Illusion eyeshadow duos. That is a tongue twister. They are so gorgeous and they are supposed to be even more chunky, even more glittery, even more beautiful. So I wish you could tell me which shade I should put on my eyeballs. I'm so excited, and I really love the concept of this as well. with the 6-pan palettes being what you really need for every day, and then you really just need to invest in that one topper that you absolutely love that will dress up your look no matter what. And so I think I'm going to play around with all these colors are so gorgeous. You are going to see these more often. I'm going to have fun and we're going to do quite a few is what I've decided. So I think to match the darker part of my outer corner, I'm going to take this beautiful burgundy shade here just on my pinky. And this is what this swatch is like. It's a beautiful like bronze burgundy. And I do this quite often where I mimic the darker shadows that I have in mattes with a shimmer on top. And I'm just going to place that in the outer corner here. That's really pretty. It also kind of just with the shimmer and the reflex against the light, it helps to blend those outer shadows really nicely as well. This is from the eyeshadow duo in the shade Soul Burn. And then I think for the inner part, I want to take just a really classic overall sort of gold look. So I'm going to do the base here. This is in the shade When the Sun Sets. And that's exactly what it looks like. I'm going to do this all over the lid here. How can you not like this? This is like my favorite kind of glitter, which is like a very pigmented scattered glitter. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like a scattered ethereal effect where there isn't a lot of base pigment, but because the reflex themselves have a lot of pigment and they're packed so closely together, you get a lot of color impact from it. Oh my goodness, are we seeing this? Look at the swatch for this shade. It is so stunning. Now, I know that there is just an uproar about the price of these. This is one of my favorite things in makeup is glitter eyeshadows. So I know that for my tastes and for me personally, these are worth it, especially if I could have gotten them on sale. And I think they're really unique in my collection. And they're just something I want to reach for all the time, but that's sort of a personal preference. I like that they have a mirror. I like that they have just a multi-function use, and I use shadows like this all the time. I actually go through these. However, that totally is personal taste. I do think you don't need all of these. I think if you really just want a really special glittery effect, there are a lot of really beautiful ones. And they're all kind of expensive when you want this sort of effect. The Too Faced Disco Crush ones I love. So expensive. So ungodly expensive, but worth it to me. The Kulfi one has a really nice one in the shade Sona Sona. There are some really beautiful ones from the drugstore like ColourPop and everything. But even the Danessa Myricks Color Fix sticks are a similar price point. So if you want something really like this, I don't think they're so ungodly out of the range of everyone else at Sephora, frankly. I really, really like these, and you get a mirror as well, and they are extremely high quality. So I like them a lot, and they're worth it to me as far as Sephora eyeshadows go. If you really want insanely glitter eyeshadows, you go to indie brands, but that's another video. So for my inner corner, I'm going to take a little bit of this from the color In Your Dreams, and I'm just gonna take this light one right here in this really gorgeous sort of like chunky kind of look. And I'm just going to place this on the inner part of my eye to sort of brighten it a little bit here. Look how fun our eyes are looking. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy. Okay, so let's check the fallout situation. There is a little bit of fallout here. That does not bother me because I obviously did my makeup first. So if you're going for a holiday kind of look or a party and you really want to have like a fun glimmery sparkle in your eyes, I would suggest doing your eyeshadow first. That is definitely going to make a big difference. You can take a makeup wipe and clean it up. Side note, I'm so sorry if you've been looking at my lips and they're so dry. So I'm gonna take one of the new Summer Fridays lip butter balms. This comes in this really cute holiday set. And this is in the flavor Toasted Marshmallow. And I'm just going to help prep my lips for the rest of this video. That smells so good. It smells exactly what it sounds like. Okay, so I'm just gonna wipe out some of this sparkle here underneath here and clean up under my lash line. Give us a nice sharp edge to work with. Lovely. I don't think I can remember the last time I bought an eyeliner or frankly used an eyeliner. I usually use shadows all the time, but everyone was just going nuts about the Vanngo liners. So I picked up a few because I really want to see how good they are. I want to try his liner in the shade Use Your Own Judgment. This is his like rich dark brown. And I want to try to line my eyes here with this, but we will see. I've heard that these are incredibly long wearing and that they are incredibly long lasting in the waterline, which is how I use most of these eyeliners nowadays, especially. They are a twist up liner, which I love, but also they come with a little sharpener as well down here at the back. That's so great and innovative. I love that, but I love a twist up liner. I love it. So let's go ahead and just quickly line our eyes. It's gliding over my shadow really easily, but I can feel that it has that really nice sort of tacky staying power to it. Yeah, I don't really like eyeliner, but that was like really pleasant to use. So for somebody who doesn't like eyeliner, that's an A+. You know it's good when you get somebody who doesn't like that kind of product to like it. So this is the color I use. This is Use Your Own Judgment. It's a very neutral brown, and I love that. I love that it's not so rich. I love that it's not as deep as a black, but it's going to be flattering on truly absolutely everyone because it's such a neutral. So I bet you that's going to wear really, really well. If it wasn't and you wanted to ultra set it, you could go over it with powder, which is what I usually do. But why use two steps? That's why I usually skip and just go to powder, especially for an everyday kind of event. All right, I've got some really exciting mascara to talk about. I have got the YSL Lashclash. I have never tried this. This is a cult classic and an absolute favorite. And this came in a beautiful little holiday set. And so I have heard everyone and their mother rave about how amazing this is. So I'm gonna try this on one eye. And then I also have the Refy Beauty Lash Sculpt mascara as well. Another super viral mascara. So I'm gonna try one on each eye and then we will get to the rest of our face. So I'm just gonna curl my lashes really quickly. Okay, let's go ahead and try the Refy on one side. It's got a very unique brush. It is incredibly thin. It has bristles only on one side of it, and then the other side is completely curved like a sickle. And so it's really, wow, this feels so weird to apply. But it really hugs and grips the lashes very nicely. It kind of takes a minute to get used to. Ooh, very interesting. It's not a mascara that's gonna give you super thick lashes, but it really fans them out really nicely with that wide of a brush, and you can get some pretty nice length, but really it's this like long over your eye sort of fluttery effect. The shape of the lash that it gives is very nice, so that is a really nice mascara. It does take a minute to get used to get to your outer corner with that long of a brush, to get in your inner corner. So ease of use is not the easiest in the world. Now this one is just a really classic big fluffy wand, and this I could tell is probably going to be up my alley more just because I like a really millennial thick clumpy mascara. Okay, am I a crazy person, or is that just like super duper like okay for how much money you spent on this? So this is what each of them look like. I feel like that's sort of okay. And for $45, that looks exactly like a drugstore mascara, if not worse. Okay, that wasn't like the most stellar first impression I've ever had, but we shall see. We'll keep testing them. Moving on to complexion. The only complexion product I really picked up for my dry skin out of curiosity was the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. And I got mine in the color 2. So I'm hoping for good things. I got a couple of comments saying that this was really nice, and I'm going to use this with my new Patrick Ta foundation brush. This is supposed to paint on your foundation, which I think will work really well with such a hydrating, glidey foundation. And then this side is meant to pat it in for some more coverage if you want. So I cannot wait to use this technique and to try it out. So let's go ahead and get this on my face a little bit here. I definitely matched my winter shade. Okay, and let's see how this applies. This feels so wrong. I've always been told that doing this creates like streaks on your face. You can get a pretty precise line here though. That's kind of cool. You can really get in the nooks and crannies of your face. Huh. Well, that looks kind of nice, doesn't it? I love the sensation of painting my face. That's kind of fun. I do feel like it gives me some brush strokes though, if you're not careful. And I wonder if it takes away some of the coverage. So on this side, I'm going to use this side of the brush to sort of stipple it like I normally do. It actually might give fuller coverage the other way. Ooh, I actually like how that skin tint looks on my skin for sure. Yeah, that looks nice. That looks really hydrating. It doesn't feel like it's totally sitting on top of the skin as well. It's pretty thin, and it really evened out my complexion. Does it have a ton of coverage? No, because it's a skin tint. So you can still see all my blemishes and everything underneath, but I actually really like the feeling of the skin tint because nothing ever soaks into my skin. So that's so nice that it feels that way. And also that brush applied this really beautifully. So I'm impressed with that as well. I really, really enjoy that. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of the Tarte CC cream that I've been using. This stuff is really great for everybody who's super tired. It's a really easy, conveniently packaged color corrector. My thoughts on this, if you didn't see this in my other haul video that I tried this out, I don't think that the actual color correcting power of this is bad, but I don't think it's astronomically better than most other color correctors. What I do like about this product actually is how it comes packaged. This is much easier to throw in your purse on the go for touch-ups. It's much easier to apply because it's a putty. You could apply it with your finger. You don't need a brush. So, and I like the formula of this in that it actually blends into your skin extremely seamlessly. And that's where I think all of the value of this is, plus the mirror. But as far as the intense covering, I think just as good as any of your other regular color correctors. Like Morphe has, I think, my favorite other color corrector. It's just very serum-y. So it depends on what kind of formulation you like, but that is very nice, totally. I also showed this in my last video, but the only concealer I picked up is the Westman Atelier, and unfortunately, I'm having a love affair with this. This is so beautiful. It should be for this amount of money, but oh my dear God, it is so incredible. It's so long wearing. It looks like skin. It is very full coverage. It feels very hydrating. Basically, it just hits all the talking points. And I love, honestly, how thick and full-bodied it is so that it can really fill in my under eyes, but it doesn't sit on the skin that way. And so it truly is like the best of both worlds somehow. I don't know how they did that. And you can see for being so thick, it blends in with a skin tint, which is a completely different consistency, really nicely, just beautifully. So especially for days like this, where if you have acne like I do and you don't want a large amount of coverage all over your face, but you really need some intense coverage in certain areas, this is such a beautiful concealer. I hate to tell you, but this is one of the purchases I am the happiest with. Look how beautiful that just makes your under eye just so, so gorgeous. A little goes a long way, so by the time I'm done blending, I don't have any leftover concealer I have to blend and try to move into other places of my face. I love it. It's just a 10 out of 10. It's 100 out of 10. I can't stand that I love that so much. Okay, really quickly, I'm just going to throw on some of my Natasha Denona bronzer right here. I'm just gonna pick this up on just a little bit of a brush. Blend this in as quick as I can, because you know we've got all the blush launches to get to. Okay, I just did a very, very quick bronzing of my complexion. Now, blushes. Have I got blushes for you? I've got Summer Fridays. I picked up 2 of the Glossier Cloud Paints. I've got all 3 of the new Huda Beauty blush palettes, which is so exciting. I have the NARS holiday kit as well, so we're just gonna have so much fun playing with all of these. Oh, and then I also picked up 2 of the colors of the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinimide Dew Drops Dewy Flush, you know what I'm saying. These are supposed to be like skincare and makeup in one. Let's just get all of these on our face, shall we? I had some requests to pick up a couple of these. Say less. So I just want you to know that when it comes to my makeup and it comes to blush, I am such a scientist and a mixer at heart. So I'm going to try to pile on as much of these as possible. Just please excuse the result, but we're just gonna have fun and just These are just first impressions. And then eventually I will give you my thoughts and a speed review of all of these I've tested out with multiple formulas and finishes individually. But today we're just gonna play, okay? So I'm actually going to mix, this could be a horrific idea, but I'm going to mix this bright neon, I mean, this is as neon as it gets. Watermelon, hang on, I've got makeup all over my hands. That Natasha Denona bronzer is nice, but man, does it get everywhere every time I use it. So I think I'm going to mix these two on one cheek. So I'm going to put like a dot there. This is craziness. And then I'm also going to mix this color here. This is Cherry Flush. Hang on, the stopper. That is like life or death right there. Like you're gonna get it all over your clothes. So they need to kind of fix that. This is Cherry Flush, and then this one here is Dragon Fruit Flush, and I am just going to mix those like a crazy person. So I'm gonna take my Patrick Ta blush brush right here, and we're just going to find out that they're very pigmented. And when I originally swatched these in store, they were not. So, whoopsie daisies. Okay, so this is beautiful. We're gonna have to put this on the other side. We're going to have to diffuse this. So here's the thing. If you don't put on as much as I did, your cheek could look like this. And it could look very nice and very classy. If you put on a lot, you're gonna look like the way I normally like to look, but a lot of people make fun of me for. So, good to know that you can build up the pigment, because frankly, that's the reason I didn't buy this launch in the first place, is I was like, why would I buy something that I can't tell is there? You can definitely tell this is there. Not something bad in my book at all. I'm just blending out the edges of my concealer into this. This gives a really gorgeous, very even sort of skin tone flush here. I'm going to say that I really like that. I like that a lot more than I thought I would. And how about this sort of like mixed color? Isn't that fun? Okay, I love that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my foundation brush and just sort of blend over where we put the extra blush over here so we can try another one. Okay, on the other side, I've heard so many wonderful things about this. This is the Summer Fridays Butter Blush Butter Balm. And this is in the shade Pink Sunset. So how cute is this? And you get a little mirror. This is so gorgeous. Ooh, oh my goodness. It's very balmy. It is like Vaseline, but it's really, really hydrating. Same sort of kind of flushy color. Ooh, it feels like it has a little bit of silicone in it too. Fun. Okay, let's take on another brush here. Let's take this one instead on a little BK Beauty 109 brush and just pop this in here. I love this color too. It's like fun summer goodness. And ooh, oh my goodness gracious, why do I love that so much? Okay, that's a lot more pigmented again than I was originally thinking, but you know I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh, look how blurred that looks for being so Vaseline-y. Kind of a similar color. Didn't I end up with a similar color? Yes, go me. Guys, playing with new makeup is so much fun. It's my favorite. Wow, I love that. Wow, wow, wow. I love that a lot. Mwah, new bestie. Hi, nice to meet you. Can't wait to hang out with you more. I love that color too. It's so beautiful. Like, even though it's winter, this kind of like brightness just kind of brightens up my day, especially when it's kind of cloudy, and it's a very summery color, but frankly, I'm gonna wear this all year round. I love that. Okay, so much fun. Before we set everything with powder, I'm just gonna set my brows down super quickly. This is just the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. It came in one of the holiday kits that I picked up for Sephora, which if you didn't see that video, I will link it down below or put it in a card around here. It was super fun. I did a full face using the holiday kits. Okay, moving on to setting powders. I've got a few that are very exciting and I cannot wait to try them all out, and I'm not sure how? This is what I think I'm gonna do. So first of all, I picked up the Givenchy Prism Libre 4-color pressed powder in 03 Wale Rose, and this is stunning. This is like my first like Givenchy packaging ever. It is beautiful, except that I can't get it open ever. So it comes with a mirror, and you know what? Not so horrible of a brush as I've ever seen. The bristles are pretty soft actually. And then you open it up and it has a beautiful like 4-color toned compact. This, everybody went in a tizzy, you already know. From the reformulation of their loose powder, which was everyone's just ride or die, it was so beautiful. When they took the talc out and replaced it with a lot of mica, it was so shiny. It didn't give that matte blurred effect to your skin anymore. So they came out with this, and I've been so anxious to try this because it's supposed to be very similar to their old formulation. And I had a comment from one of you guys asking if I would test this, so you know who you are, this is for you. So we're gonna test this on one side of our face. I think today, first, I'm actually going to go in and set this with a brush. I'm just going to take a BK Beauty N14 and kind of swirl around to mix all around. I am getting just a little bit of kickback here. This looks like a really beautiful, sort of like brightening lavender shade almost, a little less pink than I thought. And I'm just going to place this right here under my eye. Ooh. I am getting that initial like Givenchy luxury beauty scent as well. So if that bothers you, just letting you know. But I also am going to say I enjoy that because it's sort of like going in a luxury bathroom or spa to me. Okay, what do we think? Frankly, I think it's gorgeous. I think that is really, really beautiful. Super stunning. It feels incredibly lightweight. It actually didn't even set all the way down for me. I can still feel a little bit of tackiness, but it just gave such a beautiful blurred effect. And this was a powder that was so good for mature skin, and I'm thinking this is going to be the exact same. For the other side, I have something very exciting. This is the Huda Beauty limited edition color Cherry Peach. This is her Easy Bake Duo. I love Huda for stuff like this. She listens to her customers who were always mixing her two color correcting shades, which was the pink shade of Cherry Blossom Cake and then the oranger, more peachy shade of Peach Pie. And she kind of just made something that you could either use, depending on how you use it, you could use them mixed together here, or you can separate them and just have one of each, half and half. Everyone knows her formula is incredible, but I've actually never tried the peach color, so I'm excited to put this on the other side. So we'll use this as a color correcting shade on the other side of our eyes. So I've just got the two colors here and I'm gonna mix them. How genius is this? So you can really see the difference between a powder like Huda's and a powder like Givenchy's. Ooh. I love that. No wonder people were mixing it. That does give such a nice, like, natural color to the face. You can see this one is even a little bit brighter because it has some of those lavender tones, which are really, really brightening, as opposed to peach, which is really more for color correcting. But I really like both of them. As you can see, this one, you can still even see my under eyes a little more. This one is a little more full-bodied, much more matte, very blurring. But this might be a little tougher for mature skin to handle. So it really depends on your preference. I really, really have enjoyed both of them a lot. I am just going to put a little bit of Huda's over here just to sort of make the color match. And Huda Beauty stuff smells so good as well. How fun is that? I love that. Okay, I just set my face with the One Size translucent powder, which I also picked up from the sale. I think people need to revisit that powder. I revisited it the other day and I was like, so none of my lines are gonna show for the rest of the day? Great. And I have dry skin, and I know that's marketed towards oily skin. Oily skin, but I loved the way it set my makeup for the rest of the day. So with matte skin coming in as such a popular thing for the winter, I highly suggest like revisiting that powder. Okay, so the next thing for powder bronzer, I also picked up the Prism Libre bronzing powder, and this is in the shade I have dyslexia, 001, not 100, 001. And again, I've heard so many beautiful things about this. I had another request to pick this up and compare it. So I'm gonna compare it to bronzers today. This is a gorgeous formula. You could use one, like this really deep contour shade, especially for nose contour. We might do that today. But I'm going to swirl these around and kind of get these on my face here. So I hope I picked up the right shade because this looks extremely neutral. I like my bronzers a little bit more bronzery, but we shall see, we shall see. So I'm just gonna kind of swirl my brush, get it all in there, make sure all the sides are kind of covered, and hit my skin. Ooh. Oh yeah. No, this is the right color. Ooh, it's very natural. And so blurring. Wow. Oh, y'all, here's the thing. I know this is incredibly expensive. I do get it. However, how do I want to word this? I reach for the Vanngo matte blurring bronzer a lot because he's a genius and he made it very well. It is very simple. It is just, you can't go wrong with it. It's never going to do you wrong. And I think I recommend it for something like that. However, this is the other bronzer I wanted to show you. This is the Giorgio Armani bronzer in the shade 100. And there is something about the way that these bronzers have been going on that really, really actually, I feel, blur my skin. Like, it just looks better than before. It doesn't overpower my face, but it doesn't do absolutely nothing. Look at how gorgeous. Now this one you can see has a little bit more of a sheen even compared to the Givenchy, and the Givenchy has a little bit more of a natural undertone. So if you're not a fan of how warm these can get, I would suggest going with the Givenchy, but these are both so beautiful. I cannot get over them. Okay, for powder blush, these are the Glossier Cloud Paint Plush blushes. That is impossible to say. And I've got the colors Puff right here and Float right here. So these are going to be really gorgeous. They're sort of that Korean like putty sort of formula. They have really cute packaging. It does feel really plastic and kind of cheap, and there's no mirror in it. So there is that. But the formula itself is sort of like a putty, and it's, gosh, it feels incredible. So it's very, very blurring. So this is the color Puff. It's just a really pretty basic like pink. And then I also have the color Float, which is more of like a mauve. These feel like I'm rubbing marshmallows. Like, they are the coolest texture and they give such a really nice blur to the skin. So gosh, I don't know how to use these. What brush do I use? I'm gonna go in with a powder brush and we're gonna see how that does, because it says you can use your fingers or a brush to apply and blend onto the cheeks. So I'm gonna dip a little bit into both and just did that do anything? A tiny bit of something? I feel like this might be user error because I totally might be using the wrong brush. But so far it's not picking up anything underneath. So if it's supposed to be a cream, it's going on top of the powder pretty nicely. I don't think it's a bad formula, but there's something about the way it's applying right now with this particular brush, which is probably not correct. So I'm gonna have to play around and find the right way to wear these. But as you can see, it did kind of brighten up my complexion a little bit. It's very blurring, but I feel like I have to get the right tool so that it's not kind of patchy right here. I don't know. Jury's out on that a little bit. But the other blurring blush I wanted to try that is a powder is the new Huda Beauty Blush Filter Palettes. And I have all three shades, but this is the color, I know, this is the color Baby Pink. And let me swatch these for you. These, again, are super ultra pigmented. You do get a highlighting shade in each of them, which is really nice. So these are what all those colors look like. And swatched against my arm here, they are a really, really nice set. And that highlight is gorgeous. So we'll see. I'm going to just be over blushed today as per usual. And we're gonna just, I don't know. We're just gonna, you know what I mean? Pre-blend because I'm scared. Okay. Ooh. Okay, immediate thoughts. I do love this color. I just tapped myself in the eye. Second immediate thoughts, it is very blurring. Wow. Which I do think we need on the market because so many people have texture concentrated on their cheeks, and so many of the blushes are so sparkly and glowy that they tend to emphasize all of that, you know? Which frankly, I think they're so pretty that if you have texture there and you still have a glowy brush, you look fabulous. But I know some people just really don't want that. So I do think this is kind of needed. Okay, but like, why does that look awesome? You know what I mean? This is much more subtle. This is a Glossier kind of girl. That's why I don't have very many products for them, if any. So, I mean, this is a look though. This is a very beautiful, like, she's classy. This is more me because this is, I don't want to say because other people aren't fun, but so overall first impressions, they're both very nice. They're both very blurring. This is obviously way more wearable. This is like way more fun and kind of goes with like a fun party look. There's like a tiny bit of patching right here. I'm totally aware of that, but here's the thing. We've got a plethora of products over and under each other right now. So I'm not going to name like one thing as the culprit right now. I'm gonna have to play around and let you know. Half the time it's my skin. Half the time I need to dermaplane. So what I'm looking for is all of this area is actually still really blurred, because if something is patchy on me, it will tend to patch very evenly. The whole thing will be patchy. And that's not the case with either of these. So I'm just going to, for funsies, try the highlighter shade in here really quickly. This gorgeous, like really fun, obnoxious pink. Oh. Yikes. Yeah. See, this is the kind of crap I like. I don't know why. I mean, I kind of do. That is a loud and proud cheek, but I love the color. I think it's stunning. Jury's out on what is causing something to patch, because we've got 20 new products on my face right now. So, and it could just be that I know that having a really dewy skin tint underneath and then all of these matte products on top, they just don't mesh. So we'll figure that out. But truly, as far as color and everything, and I think in general application for how scarily pigmented those are, they go on really nicely. I have tested the Huda Beauty other colors and they don't patch. So I'm thinking it's a skin tint powder sort of mismatch. But another fun thing we get to use today, I told you we're gonna put too many things on our face and you're just gonna have to forgive me. So the other obnoxiously pink palette I have is the NARS Holiday palette. And I'm just going to just be a silly goose and pop some of this on my other cheek so that my other cheek doesn't feel as lonely. So we have too much blush on, but that's okay. I told you that was gonna happen, okay? So you were warned. That is so stunning, still blurred, still incredibly beautiful. Yeah, those are a really good time. I love those. Okay, so what I'm thinking is this is a perfect opportunity to take one of the other incredibly viral things I wanted to test out. This is the One Size Boucle Silk Airbrushed Powder. This is a finishing powder from him, and it's very hourglass akin, right? So, oh no, mine came booped. Hey, somebody booped it right there. But wow, just barely touching this. It's like very, very pigmented, like a lot of his brand. But it's supposed to just give sort of a really gorgeous, like finished look to the skin. So I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush. We're gonna dip into this and we're just going to finish our face with this powder and kind of go over this blush a little bit to hopefully tone it down so that you're not just staring at craziness this entire video. But you know, you will be staring at some craziness. But let's see. Wow. That is really nice. It gives a really, really nice effect to the skin. It's not a very hydrating feeling powder. I don't know how to make that make sense, but it doesn't give your skin a silky feeling in terms of feeling like skin, but you do look pretty airbrushed, I will say. I think that helped kind of tone it down a little bit, right? Again, such a good trick if you've put on too much blush, your blush went patchy, your bronzer went patchy, something happened on your skin. You need a really beautiful finishing powder like that as well. And look how nice everything looks now. It's all blurred and blended. Yes, ma'am. Guys, this whole video is like such a treat. So what I'm gonna finish off my face with, and to bring some light back, this is the Christian Dior, and this is their limited edition holiday highlighter. Look at this stunningness. This is so gorgeous. I swatched this in store and I was like, I must have it. It is a beautiful champagne gold, but it has ever so slightly a little bit of pink reflex to it. So I'm just going to pop this on the high points of my cheek here with a big fluffy brush to kind of diffuse it. This also has just a tad bit of fragrance in it, but it is really just a nice, fun for the holidays, but it's still kind of a subtle look. This is really beautiful. Clearly the packaging gets like 100 out of 10. Really quickly, I'm going to finish up the eyes. I'm going to take just a little bit more of the Patrick Ta palette here and just run just a little bit under my lash line here so the eyes look a little more complete. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we've made it to lips. You know I'm a lipaholic, so I have got a lot of lips as well. I have got the really stunning Pat McGrath Labs color. This is in Earth Angel, the very viral color that went all over the Victoria's Secret Angels lips this year for 2025. I have the incredibly stunning YSL beautiful holiday edition as well, which is this like sunset rose gold kind of color. I've got the new Refy lipsticks, and this is in the color Rosa. So I think we might use this as our base today. I've got the Fenty Holiday we haven't tried out yet. I have got the two Lawless colors that are both in the LoveShackFancy line, which is such a dream collaboration. Basically anything LoveShackFancy collabs with, I am all over it. And then I have all three of the incredibly beautiful Gisou honey infused lip oils in the shades Milky Mocha, Sticky Toffee, and this is Vanilla Glaze. So it's gonna be a party. It's gonna be a party here in just a minute. I think I'm going to use a little bit of this Fenty liner here. These are the most glidey lip pencils ever. I mean, you barely have to use any pressure with them, and they could fill in the lips so easily. Wow. Do you see that? Just by rubbing my lips together, I've basically filled in my lips. That's incredible. This came from this holiday kit. So this is the liner traced out. So this is the really pretty gloss balm that it comes with. So let's go ahead and put this on as like a little duo just for funsies. This is a really stunning pink reflect, gorgeous shimmer. The gloss balm formula is a classic for a reason. It's so beautiful. It's nice and thick. It has the most wonderful like fruity smell to it. This is such a beautiful, fun, gorgeous, very unique lip combination, but the color is not like incredibly intimidating. So I really enjoy that. This is lip combo number 1.
Hi. Is it a vlog?
No, come say hi.
How do I look?
You look incredible.
Hello. I stapled my finger today.
I saw that.
It was so dumb. I was refilling the stapler, and sometimes you have to press the top to like, you know how it's like this? You have to press the top like down. So I was pressing it down, but accidentally pressed it where the stapler is. And when I pressed it, it completely like stapled.
Stop.
There was a stapler, I had to pull it out, and it was like really deep too. And I was in shock. I did it, I heard the click, and I was like, and I pulled out my finger, and my finger was stapled. And it was deep. Like, I could see it underneath my skin. Like, it gray underneath.
Stop.
I would not recommend.
I'm trying on all my lip glosses. You want to see?
Oh my gosh, I love lip glosses.
This is the one that they used on the Victoria's Secret Angels.
Oh my gosh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw those in your room and used them. I'm not even kidding.
Excuse me?
I think I did. Oh my gosh. Your top is so cute.
Thank
I
you.
need to get some tops like that. They're
Look
so
how pretty this is.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of your video.
Thank you for visiting. So this is what Earth Angel looks like. This is not even a new product. I am so glad it's getting the recognition it deserves. And this is such a beautiful gloss. It's so nice and thick. Oh, and a light change. Keep the light changes in my video. We love those. This gloss just is so thick without being goopy. It is so lovely, and frankly, I love the way my lips look with this. It's stunning, even more than I like the Grape Splash one, which was nice, but this is beautiful. Oh, I don't want to take it off. I'm just going to reapply some of this. Okay, so the two colors from LoveShackFancy, this is the color Bloom Heirloom, and this is the color Happy Thoughts. So I've heard they're like a really like 2000s kind of frosty look. So, ooh, oh my goodness. This is like very, very pale pink. Ooh, how pretty. And then this one is a really pretty like icy, ooh, gorgeous mauve. Ooh, let's try them. Let's try them half and half. So this is the color Happy Thoughts on this side. Ooh, I actually love that. Like, how fun is that color? And then this really like fun frosty pink on the other side. Let's try this side. Oh my gosh, look how frosty my lips are. That's insanity. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't hate that. Like, especially if you're going out, like you're going to a fun party, you're going for a girls' night, you're going for like girls' drinks night out, you just want a little like pop in the center of your lips. Sometimes it's very hard to find something so bright that it actually gives dimension to your lips, especially if you are such like a nude girly lover. But in my opinion, I think this would look incredible on darker skin tones, like a dark liner lip combo. Girl, this is beautiful. But like, how fun. It's just kind of like a fun frosty 2000s moment. I'm kind of here for it. Yeah, I kind of like it. Okay, next I want to try this Refy lipstick here. This guy's such an interesting applicator. So it's got like a little metal tip in it, and then it's very pointed for precise lining. This is so interesting. And then I wonder, oh, so it clicks up. Okay, I get it. Okay, it's coming. You can see it kind of comes out of the package this way, and then, ooh, I think I just put out a lot. So let's swatch this color on the back of my hand. Ooh, wow. It's a really beautiful, like rosy kind of mauve color. And let's apply this. Woo! I've applied a lot. I've applied a lot, I can tell. Interesting. I'm into this metal applicator, y'all. This feels really nice. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, the product feels really nice as well. I'm kind of a big fan of the fluffy applicator. It kind of soaks up the rest of the unnecessary product, but that is such a beautiful like fall winter color. This is very, very like Rachel and Friends. This feels so plush and so soft, not drying at all on the lips at all. This is a beautiful product. I really like that. It's very innovative, very different. I like the color. I don't have a lot like this in my collection. I love this. I think this is an absolute win. And so I'm gonna top it off with a little bit of this YSL gloss here. I lied to you. We'll save that for another video. I'm actually going to top it off with one of these Gisou honey infused lip oils, and this is in the color Sticky Toffee because I think this will just go beautifully with this lipstick. This is like a beautiful natural, and it smells divine. I absolutely love the shine that these give to the lips. This is a beautiful pairing as well. I just found my new favorite fall lip combo. That is so beautiful. Lastly, we need some setting spray to make sure this gorgeous look holds all day. So this is the new Laura Mercier Translucent Hydrating Setting Spray Ultra Blur. That's a lot of contradicting words to me, but I've heard so many good things about this. So it comes in a nice aerosol, I think. Ooh, it's a very fine mist, so we'll see. Okay guys, that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had as much fun as I did. This is my favorite type of video. I love getting to haul everything and try them all out for the first time with you. So many fun things, so many hits, a few misses in here for sure that I'm going to have to like rethink my life about a little bit, but I hope you had so much fun. Everything turned out so well. I really like my makeup today. I know this might not be everybody's jam, but it is so certainly up my alley. I had so much fun. Thank Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you want to hear my final thoughts on all these products, make sure you're subscribed because I will be doing an entire intense speed reviews for you on everything past the first impression stage. So I really hope that you hang out with me for a little longer and stick around. We have so much fun on this cozy corner of the internet I've created over here. So I will see you gorgeous girlies in the next one.